Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. So The Flash does return to filming for the final time. Well, at least in regards to like the final time filming in episode 1, because I'll take breaks throughout the season and I guess return to filming technically. But of course, Season 9 will be the final season of The Flash with a 13 episode wrap up. And of course, that's just going to be bittersweet. You're obviously going to be excited to see how they wrap up a 9-year journey, a 9-season journey and all of that, but you're also sad because it is coming to an end. And like, just a bit of a sidetrack, like since the announcement a couple of months ago or a few months ago that The Flash is ending, people have told me like, oh, I started watching the show when I was this age, now I've done this, and people have like were watching it when they were still in high school, now they finished college and everything, or university, everything like that, and or done this and everything. It's crazy. And they've said, oh, I've started watching your channel this year and now I'm doing this and still watching. Like, it's insane to hear some of the stories, which is also like a bit sad at the same time. But yeah, it's going to be a fun final season of The Flash, and I'm excited to go down that journey, and hopefully you guys are as well. Now, we, at the time of this video being made at the very least, do not have any official news for the final season of The Flash outside of like the episode count that I mentioned before, which is 13 episodes. So that should change, you would think, as they, go into the returning of filming, but that doesn't mean like the biggest news is said to come out in the next week or two. It could just be some set photos, maybe some minor ones, maybe some returning cast members from previous seasons being announced, but even then, like, that would be pretty big. Like, that's a wait and see. Of course, if stuff does come out, we're of course going to be talking about it on the channel, so keep your eyes out for that. But I wouldn't expect anything major, maybe because they want to keep things a surprise as well. But if they know that maybe someone on the street or, through like set photos and stuff could be seen, they'll probably announce it beforehand. Because I think that's what they did with the final season of Arrow. But then again, that was like a couple of years ago, so my memory might be a bit dodgy on that one. But of course, with it being the final season, many are expecting some familiar faces from the past to show up again for one final time at some point in that 13 episode final season run, whether that be characters from the Flash itself from earlier seasons, like seasons 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that, or characters from those other shows from the Arrowverse through cameos or whatever it might be. And seeing that this will, also be the final season of Earth Prime by the looks of it, people are expecting other people from other shows from the Arrowverse to show up in some regard. But in regards to this video specifically, I wanted to focus in on the villainous and evil side of things. And you guys actually did assist with this video from a few weeks ago when I asked about, or asked what villains you would like to see return in the final season of The Flash and why. So I asked that. I had like no real intention to make a video, so thanks to those that contributed. But yeah, I don't think I said it was gonna lead into another video, but I do appreciate it. But yeah, we are going to go over some of the top villains that people wanted to return or want to return, as well as why they want them. And I will include my thoughts on the likelihood of each happening, because some are decent, some are a bit of a, shoot and wonder, throw and wonder. I know what the saying would be. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all this. Which villain out of this list would you want the most? Just one? Or do you have an idea of someone that I did mention? Let me know in the comment section down below. Very curious to read what you guys think, or are thinking, because obviously, heading into the final season, I'm sure people have a wish list. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to show your support, you're looking forward to the final season of The Flash, why not drop a like on the video to do all that? So the first thing I want to do is, a lot of people actually said this, on both sides. People were nominating this villain for someone to show up, and others were saying, well, hold on, I don't know if you can count this person because technically they were already confirmed, and that's Bloodwork, because we're expected to see him. Once again, people use the word confirmed. Technically, he's not confirmed. We're just expected to see him due to the setup at the end of the Earth Prime comic series. If you don't know, he escapes from Argus under the watch of like Cisco and some other people, and it says that story is going to be continued in The Flash season 9. So we expect to see him. Eric Wallace has discussed it, but he didn't confirm it in interviews, I don't think. So that's a wait and see, even though we should expect him. So this video is more for characters, or in this case villains, that haven't been confirmed or ridiculously hinted at, like Bloodwork was in that comic series. So a character could have been talked about in interviews, but they weren't on a page saying, hey, expect them in season 9. Now, these aren't in any particular order. Like, I'd say there was a good amount of comments each way. There's maybe one that had a less amount, but I included them because I think it's a decent idea. But yeah, these aren't in any particular order, just the way I've written them down. So the first one is one that most people would expect in regards to, viewers of the show nominating someone, and that's Red Death. Now, Red Death has been this like anomaly that's just been like, will they, won't they show up? Ever since that mention in, was it season 5? It was season 5 of The Flash, in the Flash Museum. It's just been like, oh, well, Red Death needs to be this like massive, murdering speedster. So when are we seeing this, mass murdering spree? I mean, we had Zoom, who was a mass murderer, but he didn't kill that many people on screen at the very least. So what's with Red Death? Are we ever going to see this, happen on the show? And I think if they don't use him, it's a bit of a missed opportunity just in regards to like pretty much like a murder mystery sort of things that they could do. And it would have been pretty cool for them to go down that route. But it's also a character I think would be hard to fit in the final season as like a fully fleshed out storyline. So I think it'd have to be like a ridiculously overpowered character that comes in and just does cool speedster stuff without really having an overly deep story to it, just because I don't think the final season, seeing it's only 13 episodes, has enough time to dive into that. I think if it was 18 episodes or even 16, maybe there's a chance that they could have focused in on that. I just don't know if they will go down that route. But Red Death would be a cool character to show up. Obviously, you're going to have to, fiddle with it a bit and change it up a tiny bit, just because you're not going to do what it is in the comics, which I actually don't mind them doing. But yeah, I find it hard to see how they do like a fully fleshed one. But I think the best chance of Red Death showing up would be like just make him like a psychotic killing speedster that needs to be taken down as soon as possible. And that'd be pretty damn cool. But I did mention this guy before, Zoom. Zoom is obviously going to be at the top of people's lists. Now, obviously, I did say before in regards to like, we're expected to see Bloodwork because it was in the comic. And obviously, Eric Wallace, the showrunner for The Flash, who is still going to be showrunning the final season of The Flash, has talked about Zoom. It's his favorite character from the show and wanting to bring him in. I expect to see him just based off what Eric Wallace has said. I don't expect him based off anything else outside of what Eric Wallace has said. And also, I don't know how they would bring him back in regards to an on-screen presence. Is it just going to be him in the suit with the demonic voice, or is it going to be Teddy Sears coming back to play Hunter Zolomon as Zoom? That's the question. Like, Teddy Sears has said, I'd love to come back. Like, he said it multiple times that he'd love to do it if he wasn't doing anything else. Like, I think last year, or might have been season 7. I think there would have been no chance of him even being able to have time off to do it because he was doing other shows. But maybe last season he was doing that as well. But hopefully, if there's an idea, hopefully they can get him back, because he was as much as Zoom was, as was like the demonic voice and the scary suit and stuff like that. So if they can bring him back in some way, it'd be really cool. And I'd also love to learn more about like post-crisis Zoom, because there's this Earth doesn't know about the multiverse, at least in regards to doesn't know like it still exists. So I'd like to know where Zoom came from, if they want to explain that and play around with it. That'd be pretty cool. Another option which I thought was pretty interesting, because it's not just one character. So the general thing is Reverse Flash, but it's not just Reverse Flash. People want multiple Reverse Flashes to show up this season. So I guess they mean they want the Tom Cavanagh version, as well as a younger version, whether that's the Matt Letcher version or another actor playing Reverse Flash, or maybe all three. I'm not too sure. This would be insane. I do expect Reverse Flash in this final season in some way. I just don't know to what level we'll get him. It's mainly based off what happened in season 8 and the focus there. But that would be pretty cool if we did get some different timeline versions of Reverse Flash showing up, or Eobard Thawne, whichever way it is. That would be pretty cool. Once again, the 13 episode count just has me thinking that there's just not enough time to play around with that. But then I think back to Arrow's final season and how much they did in such a short amount of episodes. And really, like, it's the first 4 episodes of that final season, like almost like 10 out of 10s every episode. And they did so much. So if you don't have to build up a story and introduce new characters, there is a lot of time. So that makes me question my own thoughts as well. So maybe they can make that work and just bring in all these villains if they want to. But seeing multiple Reverse Flashes would be cool, especially if they team up. So imagine it's like the Tom Cavanagh version, the Matt Letcher version, and maybe even like a really young OG Eobard Thawne Reverse Flash all teaming up together. That would be insane, right? And especially if it was in like one episode. I don't even know what you would call it, like Get Reversed. I don't know. I don't even know what the episode title would be. That's a terrible episode title. Maybe it's a really good one, but something like that. That'd be pretty cool. And this is the one that didn't have as many people talking about it, but there's still a good amount of people talking about it, but not as many as the other three I've mentioned before. And that's the Rogues. And the reason I included it, even though it wasn't as popular as the other ones, is because you're not dependent on one character. It can be any combination. It could be the Rogues, and it could be Weather Wizard, could be Heatwave with the top, and it could be someone else. The Rogues can be any combination, really. However, I did see most people wanting Captain Cold to come back as well. So I think if you do the Rogues, I think the one character you have to involve at the very least before surrounding it with whatever combination you want to make up the Rogues is Captain Cold. Now, obviously, there's the whole thing where Captain Cold died a hero. It could be some time travel crap. You know, the Flash can just make it work. It could be post-crisis Captain Cold and just make it work in whatever way they want. They can make it work. We've seen weirder things. So Captain Cold is the one character people wanted back the most, but I think you surround him with the Rogues to make it a bit more threatening, at least to the Flash. And this was interesting. I think I saw this comment like twice. There might have been more, but I only saw it twice. And it was just this simple thing, which isn't the comics. It's like a title thing, even though I think you'd change it up. And that's Speedster War. Now, that was all they wrote. They didn't really give any other explanations like other people did for like Red Death, Zoom, Reverse Flash, Rogue, stuff like that. And I tried to put together my own thing on how they could do a Speedster War. And my thought is that there could be like one evil speedster that wants to come in to conquer them all. Now, that could be Red Death, because that'd be a new speedster. I don't know if you do Zoom or Reverse Flash coming in. So maybe Red Death wanting to come in and conquer them all. So they're like targeting, in this case, Red Death, they're targeting speedsters as a whole. Whether it's good or evil speedster, they're just targeting speedsters in order to come out stronger. But this could lead to the evil speedsters maybe teaming up and thinking, hey, look, you can have all this power, but you're still only going to be one person. Maybe if you have all these different evil speedsters alongside you, you know, it'd be better for you. You know, you can gain ultimate power by taking all the speed from the good speedsters, and they can go up against the Flash family. So you can have all these characters that have portrayed evil speedsters throughout the season. So Zoom, as many Reverse Flashes as you need. We mentioned 3 earlier, so maybe it's those 3 of Tom Cavanagh, Matt Letcher, and an even younger version. So you already got 5 evil speedsters alongside, if you include Red Death. Savitar, make 6. Godspeed, 7. I mean, chuck in the Rival if you want, make it up to 8. Like, who knows? It would be insane. It'd be crazy. And then they're going to be up against, or could be up against, a potential Flash family of like Barry, Wally, Jay Garrick, Bart, Nora, maybe even a good speedster like a Max Mercury. Anyone else, maybe they could do some timeline stuff where speedsters from the future come in. Maybe like a Avery Ho, you know, that was set up in last season through Fast Track Labs. Maybe even Mina Darwan is able to get her speed for one final time to assist. Something like maybe Jesse Quick from an alternate Earth comes in. All these different things. You can have like an 8v8 Flash family versus demonic evil speedsters sort of fight. I mean, it'd be pretty cool. I mean, it definitely wouldn't be the easiest thing to pull off, but it feels like it would be a big enough thing to finish the series off on, or be a part of that last portion of the final season that fans would eat up and just watch that scene or scenes on replay. I think it'd be really, really cool. Now, I've always spoken about Reverse Flash being the final villain, but I just don't know if they will go that way based off the ending of last season, like I brought up earlier, at least in a major way. Like, they could still have a link-up moment with maybe Reverse Flash, or one of those Reverse Flashes, maybe the youngest one, if they do something like that, 3 versions of it, you know, kicking off that loop that started Barry's journey with his mother dying and, you know, all of that. But I don't know if they will commit to that being the actual final story for the whole final season, or even the last few episodes, just because of what they did last season. But that is a wait and find out. I'm not too sure how they're going to wrap it up. I have my worries. You guys know, if you've listened, I hate that theory about Barry turning into the lightning bolt, unless it happens like when he's like 90 years old or something. I hate the idea of it being in 2022, 2023, and he turns into the lightning bolt. I hate that. And also, it doesn't make sense because he's meant to be alive in the future as well. So it doesn't even make sense there. But yeah, I'm interested to see what story they do and how they end off the show. And it's a bit of nervous stuff, but also it's like anxious, like, you know, nervous excitement sort of thing. So we'll wait and see how it goes. And hopefully we get some sort of hint as they start to film which direction they're going in, so you can sort of ease your nerves a bit. But yeah, well, I guess we'll see that over the next handful of weeks, potentially. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything went over. Very curious to hear what you guys think of all this. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.